KUAM TV8, home of the Milan Cortina Olympics. Coverage begins February 6, 2026. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
On KUAM News Primetime. The island has secured over $11 million in federal grants that will go to upgrades in healthcare, tech, infrastructure, and more. More details tonight. Guam's three strikes law has sparked debate for years. This week, UOG students bring together lawmakers, law enforcement, and the community to explore its impact. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the story coming up. And the third annual Teddy Bear Island Clinic flips the script, allowing children to wear the doctor's coat and treat their fluffy patient. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with that story coming up. Hafa day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thanks for ending your day with us. Well, over the weekend, the governor's office announced Guam has secured more than $11 million in federal grants, money slated for infrastructure, healthcare improvements, and technology upgrades. KUAM speaking with one Southern Village mayor about what a share of that funding means for his community. Here's more. Access to the internet can mean different things for different people. A way to do schoolwork, apply for jobs, connect with family, or handle basic business. But for many, that resource still isn't easy to get. That's why a regional computer center is coming to Inalahan to help close that gap for Southern residents. Inalahan Mayor Anthony Chargaloff.
It's a clear reflection of our effort at the mayor's office to our continued commitment to literally empower the community of Inalahan through education, technology, and equitable access to essential resources.
The center will be located inside the new mayor's office, equipped with 10 desktops, office furniture, printers, ADA accessible desks, a smartboard, and security cameras, totaling $33,650.
The grant is now out, and so of course there's this procurement process. So optimistically, we're looking at end of January, February for sure.
And this local project is just one piece of a much larger federal investment. More than $11 million awarded to Guam in FY 2025 through the U.S. Department of the Interior's Office of Insular Affairs discretionary funding, supporting projects in education, healthcare, digital transformation, energy, infrastructure, and more across multiple government agencies. These OIA grants are said to support multiple programs across 5 major initiatives. The Guam Memorial Hospital, for example, getting a slice of $360,000 for pediatric healthcare advancement, $260,000 for human resource management software, and $207,100 for nurses' workforce development, among others. Other beneficiaries include the Department of Revenue and Taxation, which is receiving about $398,000 for modernizing driver's license and Guam ID card services. The Guam Fire Department is also getting $400,000 to boost rescue and response mobility. For a full breakdown of agencies and exact amounts, visit KUAM. The shutdown be coming to an end as the government shut down snarls flights in Washington. Late developments tonight, with the most action yet on talks to make a deal with senators at work on a Sunday. But any kind of final agreement could take days if it happens at all.
Tonight, the longest government shutdown in American history could be coming to an end. After 40 days, a preliminary compromise is being discussed, and both parties in the Senate are expected to accept it, according to 3 Capitol Hill sources, 1 Republican and 2 Democrats.
We're still working on some small issues, but we expect to probably vote this early evening on getting on the bill, and then we expect that to pass.
The new bill would fund the government through January 30th and could include a guaranteed separate vote on the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies that Democrats want to extend. Those subsidies have been at the crux of the shutdown stalemate. If the deal passes in the Senate, its next stop would be the House. President Trump would also have to be on board. He's attending the Commanders-Lions NFL game tonight in Washington.
Our stock market hit an all-time high. Prices are coming down. We inherited a mess. Prices are coming way down.
Pressure has been mounting on the president and his party as recent polling showed more Americans blame Republicans for the shutdown. This weekend, the president floated the idea of giving Americans cash for health care costs and $2,000 checks as tariff dividends. But the Treasury Secretary later said the health care plan wasn't formal. Millions of Americans have felt the crunch of high expenses, especially those who rely on government food assistance programs. Overnight, the Trump administration demanded states immediately undo any steps taken to provide full SNAP benefit payments or face financial penalties. 70-year-old Patricia Brooks never got her SNAP payment this month.
It's very unfair. They're using politics, to do all this, and it's affecting people.
It's a final project with a purpose. University of Guam students are hosting a forum to bring together lawmakers, law enforcement, and the community to explore the impact and controversies surrounding the island's three strikes law. Nevaeh Anderson has the story.
How do we balance crime, punishment, public safety, and second chances in Guam's justice system? That's the question being asked by the Fall 2025 Criminal Justice Capstone team at the University of Guam. Their one-day forum titled Guam's Three Strikes Law is their final project before graduating this December. Criminal justice students Alana Ngakta, Justin De Los Santos, and Francis Sunga say they want to encourage the community to take a deeper look at a law that has been on the books since 2013. The Three Strikes Law requires a mandatory life sentence for anyone convicted of a third violent or aggravated felony, with no chance of parole, probation, or early release. De Los Santos clarifying the law was meant to address repeat offenders and deter violent crime.
But mostly felonies, drug felonies, maybe violent crimes, because if we were to target mostly all repeat offenses, regardless of what level, we might face a more overcrowding situation that we already are.
However, it's also raised questions about fairness, constitutionality, and the effects on rehabilitation. Panelists at Wednesday's forum include Attorney General Douglas Moylan, Senator Therese Terlahi, Police Chief Stephen Ignacio, DOC Major Antone Uggan, Public Defender Stephen Hattori, and Judge Jonathan Kwan. Sunga hopes bringing together all sides from lawmakers to law enforcers can spark conversation that leads to real action. Ngakta also prompts the community to think about what fairness truly means under this law, and whether the system is striking the right balance.
They had that chance before they got to the third strike to rethink, am I going to do this again?
Sunga adds that giving victims of repeat offenses justice and providing relief to a system that's fatigued by seeing the same offenders return is a significant point not to be overlooked.
We're not just trying to lock away people, that committed that allegedly committed three felonies. You still got to go through the justice system.
For the entire Capstone team, the goal isn't to take sides, but to open doors for community dialogue that's long overdue.
I think seeing that it is a public law, right? Anytime a law is passed, it's usually enforced. So I think the goal of our forum is, with our 6 panelists, to kind of open the discussion and see what is the issue. Is it on the court side? Is it on the legislature side? Is it, on DOC side?
The Three Strikes Law Forum takes place this Wednesday, November 12th at the University of Guam Lecture Hall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The event is open to the public and will also be live streamed on the team's Instagram at LW480_CJ Capstone. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Superior Court Judge John Terlahi has set a February 2026 trial date for Stephen Keanu Camacho. Charged in the January 2024 robbery shooting of Korean tourist Hye Jun Hwang near Gun Beach, Camacho, appearing via Zoom from DOC, faces first-degree murder and robbery charges with a vulnerable victim enhancement. Now, if convicted, he could face life plus 77 years. Defense attorney Romero Ozorcos asked for more time to prepare, citing other ongoing trials, while prosecutors confirmed a new plea offer is being reviewed. The Supreme Court of Guam earlier upheld a ruling allowing former Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Ohio due to health concerns. Court records say Camacho acted as shot Huang during a botched robbery. Santos later took his own life when confronted by police. A man who told the court he began dealing methamphetamine to, quote, impress a girl will spend nearly 5 years in federal prison. 48-year-old Horace R. Westfall was sentenced to 57 months, or about 4 years and 9 months, by Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood after pleading guilty to possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine hydrochloride. Westfall was also ordered to forfeit a Smith Wesson .38 revolver and more than $23,000 in cash to the federal government. He'll serve 3 years of supervised release after his prison term. During sentencing, Westfall apologized, saying he was sorry for everything, telling the judge he started dealing drugs to impress a girl. Tidinko Gatewood recommended Westfall for drug treatment and vocational programs while in custody. Westfall was arrested in Malesu in June 2024 when officers found meth, marijuana, cash, and the revolver in a stolen Jeep while he was sleeping. Right around the time when most Guamanians were settling into their desks at work and when most kids were already in class, a brief morning earthquake occurred right before 9, measuring 5.5 on the Richter scale, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. It lasted for a few seconds and occurred less than 10 miles off the Jigo coast. No damages were reported. Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Sometimes parenting can be hard. What should I be doing? The Guam Early Learning Council includes partners who can provide you with early childhood services and supports. We are here to assist. For resources and information, simply call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. Early connection can change everything.
Every day, there's something new to discover. Fresh styles, fresh finds, and fresh ways to make your home and family shine. So what's new at Kmart Guam? Ready to assemble furniture, stylish, affordable, and ready to take home today. Dream big with our new selection of mattresses. Comfort you can count on. Upgrade your home with the latest appliances, arriving now. Step out in style with new arrivals in men's and women's fashion. Fresh looks for every season. What's new? Everything. And it's all waiting for you only at Kmart Guam.
Welcome back to Primetime. A chaotic situation is unfolding at our nation's airports. More than 1,000 flights were canceled today and more than 5,000 delayed. And those numbers are only expected to increase in the days ahead. The chaos is part of the FAA's mandate to cut back on air traffic because of the government shutdown.
Tonight, the growing chaos and cancellations at our nation's airports.
There's some worry. I'm not going to lie.
A 90-minute ground stop plaguing Chicago's O'Hare Airport today due to air traffic control staffing shortages.
And I think that it's just gearing up to get worse.
In this video, you can hear a pilot on an inbound flight telling passengers they're returning to the gate.
Right now, we're just at the mercy of air traffic control.
More than 5,000 delays coast to coast. At Newark Liberty, those delays lasted for hours as that airport also experienced a ground stop due to staffing. And for the second consecutive day, more than 1,000 flights canceled.
And I'm like, please don't cancel my flight. Please don't cancel my flight.
Airlines cutting 4% of flights at 40 major airports following an order from the Trump administration to ease the strain on air traffic controllers who've been working for more than a month now without pay.
We're in uncharted territory.
The president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association telling NBC's Kristen Welker the safety risk is growing as the shutdown drags on.
Real people with real lives having issues, and then saying, run the busiest airspace in the entire world.
The challenge at the airports leading some to choose the road instead. Hertz saying its one-way reservations are up more than 20% this weekend compared to last year. The mandated cancellations set to hit 10% by Friday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning the cuts could jump to 15, even 20%, and threaten Thanksgiving travel.
If the government opens on day one, will I see an immediate response from controllers? No, the union is telling me it's going to take time to get them all back in.
Well, the Teddy Bear Island Clinic returns for its third year in a row at the Micronesia Mall, teaching children all things about medicine. Each year, the free clinic flips the script, allowing kids to wear the doctor's coat and treat their fluffy patient. Mitsuki Hirayama has more on the annual event.
Dr. Paul Mendoza isn't your usual doctor, and his patient, also named Paul, isn't your usual patient.
What was wrong with Paul today, your teddy bear?
He got hit.
But the 5-year-old and his teddy bear fit just at home at the 3rd annual Teddy Bear Island Clinic at the Micronesia Mall on Sunday. The clinic is flipping the script, allowing children to step into the role of doctors.
On his arm, right? Wherever you went, you can check it.
Good job! Good job! Yay!
From shots, lab work to x-rays, the hands-on experience is teaching these kids that visiting the doctor's office isn't so scary after all. Co-founder Sabrina Z says that's the inspiration behind the clinic's creation, which was started by former Guam and Saipan resident Dr. Angeline Sahugyan Solis and Dr. Anthony Sunga with SIFA.
The unknown is scary, so just having that kind of minimized exposure, like what to expect, just getting a shot, something simple, even seeing the x-ray machine, or just like kind of play around as you get hands-on experience, it lowers and minimizes your fear as you just know what's going on.
C has witnessed the clinic's growth over the years, from a small group of 20 volunteers to now at 70.
It's really heartwarming to see that people are still continuously coming back to the event and just wanting to continue to bring the joy as we see little kids like having fun in the event and just giving out free teddy bear.
The hands-on experience goes both ways. Henry Cockler, a practical nursing student at the Guam Community College and event organizer, is one of those volunteers.
A lot of my classmates want to work in pediatrics, so this is a great opportunity for them to, have firsthand experience with talking about medical things with kids, I guess, and getting them exposed to it.
The duo wants to thank everyone who made the event a success.
We have the practical nursing students, we have the medical assistants, we have the science and math club, and from UOG we have
definitely the AMSA, which is the American Medical Student Association. We have the pre-optometrist club, and then we have the pre-PA club here, and definitely SIFA is like a great contributor to the program all 3 years.
And no doubt this day was stuffed full with precious memories for all involved.
You're having fun today?
Yes.
What's your favorite part about today?
Everything.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view of the Triton mural at UOG in Manila.
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual PIN-coded gate and door access. Your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Say howdy to the new Buffalo Ranch sauce with its tangy creaminess and its creamy tanginess. It's your chicken's perfect partner, only at McDonald's.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas, and the Guam Army National Guard. Live here, serve here.
All right, everybody, for tonight's News Bites, I have amazing events for you. First off, the Three Strikes Law Forum is coming up, and this is featuring, look at all these people, law enforcers, law creators, people that uphold the law. What does it do? Where do you stand? Very, very important that it's going to be on the 12th over at UOG's lecture hall. Please make sure to participate, get involved, because this is very, very important stuff for all of us as Islanders. All right, the International Ball is coming up, and I want you guys to consider this because the 52nd Madame International Ball, you know, there's going to be a parade of costumes. So they have, I think it's like 26 different countries being represented, all centered around the strength of the woman and women celebrating unity for world peace. Gotta have it, gotta work towards it. And we celebrate our women right here. Women are held in the highest regard in island culture. That's a fact. All right, the Teen Expo is coming up, and we also celebrate our young people. We got the law, we got our women, and now we got the young people too. And Teen Expo is for teens, by teens. It's gonna be at the Agana Shopping Center, and we have cultural performances, a car show, school spirit competition, where you can win some very valuable prizes for your school. We did a wonderful, wonderful story on it. Make sure to go check that out. And if you're a young person, any teenager, you know, private school, public school, Dodea, homeschool, please make sure to participate because this is your generation. And man, for reals, you guys are taking over. All right, the world is yours. And Teen Expo is an amazing thing. And then our NBA Game of the Week. We are staying in the Northeast for this one. We got the Knicks and the Celtics at 11 a.m. And then the Nuggets and the Kings at 2. That's on Wednesday. All right, here's your birthdays. Monday, back to school, back to work, and back to being awesome for these birthday celebrants on Monday, the 10th of November. Happy birthday blessings to Pauline Lazama, love your familia. Sienna Lynn Adriano Villacorda, our beautiful granddaughter, is growing into a lovely young lady. Oh, congratulations to your family. And may you, Sienna Lynn, feel the love on your special day and always love Grandma, Papa, Mommy, Daddy, Roan, Sage, and Doja. Nice. Javon Mesa, happy birthday blessings to you from your very proud Nina, Nino, and the whole family. Lainey Anderson, happy birthday to Caden Johns, Metnot Lainey from your Beneventi and Anderson families. We wish all of you the best birthday. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your Primetime Show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
Well, it's another month of a lot of issues for veterans we have to talk about.
Oh, yes.
So much has happened. First, the last time we talked about the bill that was introduced and the hearing.
That's correct.
And then the week later, or maybe even a few days later, the OPA report was submitted. Mm-hmm. So that is OPA report 25-11. It doesn't exactly say what day in October. It just says October 2025.
I think it came out the day after the public hearing.
Right.
Yes.
It did. So some of the things that came out of it. I mean, there's a lot of issues that were mentioned in the report. The report is 44 pages long.
Yes.
It's 44? 60. I'm not sure how many pages are long. But I know there's a few few attachments to it. But let me just touch on the big things.
Okay.
Insufficient staffing to process VA claims. Is insufficient staffing to maintain the Guam Veterans Registry, insufficient staffing for cemetery operations, and inadequate office space, and deficiencies in data management and information security. And then other matters, which was during the course of their research on the audit, the bill was introduced to have the director, the commission, have the director be when they so currently the director is appointed by the governor, but there is law that says it should be a classified position, but the audit also says there should be some more study to find out what it is for the stakeholders. So those were the findings.
Not very many things there to do, is there?
It's a lot to do.
Well, and you know, before we really just dive into this, you know, let's just really say that, you know, there are a lot of fine, good intentioned folks that are really trying to do the best that they can, right? And unfortunately, right, we're in a position that, you know, when we look at these things need to get done, right? When we say they need to get done, right, we can't keep expecting that, you know, our veterans are going to be asking for more, and we don't even have the foundation laid for this, right? And you know, these issues are long-standing, which means this just didn't happen yesterday. This didn't happen last year or 5 years ago when we came on the scene with veterans. This has been going on for a long time. And, you know, unfortunately, those that are there kind of inherited the fact that, hey, you know, you are the person at the moment sitting there as the director. And when all these arrows are getting shot at you, right, it's not you personally, right? But regardless, you're there for a reason. And if you sat there and you decided to take that position, right, you probably may want to look at the things that are in need of work. You probably need to maybe devise a plan, you know, look for solutions and find out what the best solution might be. All along the way, it's important to communicate this. If you're doing these things or trying to do good things, and I'm sure he's doing a lot of great things, right? He's doing the best that he can. But if the best that you can is not getting us to where we're supposed to be, right, then he's going to need to ask for more reinforcements, right? And that should have been done since day one, right? And when I say day one, right, the good director has been there. This will be his second time down there, albeit different administrations, right? And yet still, right, that's the idea of what we need to talk about, right, is where do we go from here? Why these things are the way they are, right? So again, right, when we talk about these things, we're talking about them in a way, shape, fashion, form, so that what we're doing is bringing up the fact that a lot of things need to get done. Now, what I'd like to say too is that I know that when we had gotten together with like Eddie Regis and some of the other folks, right, we put together something to try to assist them. We presented this to the governor and lieutenant governor. We presented it to the last legislature, and we've been asking, how can we help? What can we do as a nonprofit to get out there and help? And if the folks that are out there are asking to provide you some help and assistance, and we're really ignoring, and maybe not ignoring, maybe there's rules and guidelines that he probably needs to express to the people that are offering him help. And maybe the folks that he's currently got that he's allowed to help him, right? Maybe this is a good time for us to measure them and say, hey, the folks that you're providing you guidance or help are probably, you know, in need of more help, right? So, you know, you can ask somebody for help, but what if the things that they're doing is not adequate, right? Then we need more help. So that's something that maybe we got to consider as well.
Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah, we just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. 2 strips, huh? Look at that. Overachieving? Sure. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. You're welcome.
What's coming up this week? Is it this week or next week? The hearing.
Oh yeah, so that's the oversight hearing is what they call it, right?
Yes, oversight hearing that Senator Sabrina Salas-Mantanani is going to have because of the OPE report.
Yes, and so, gosh, I really want to just control myself and not, just go at it, right? And we can't, right? Because we all have to work together. And that's easier said than it is done. And there's a lot of folks out there that will say anything about trying to work together, but saying something and doing something are 2 totally different things. So when we say we want to help, right, we've submitted paperwork. We've actually gone there. We've spoken to the director. We've spoken to the governor. We've spoken to people in the legislature. So if you're asking, well, have you gone there to do something? Yes, we have. Have you submitted paperwork? Yes, we have. So in that regard, that's something that we've done. Now, I think a little bit about some history, right? The last committee chair, and I just spoke to him last week, latter part of last week, Senator Dwayne St-Nicholas, right? So I was telling him, I said, hey, I hope you don't mind if I continue to tell people that when you were the committee chair, when you were in the legislature, that you opened up your office for us. He goes, oh no, that's fine. That's what I'm there for. And the reason that's very important is because at the time when he did that, right, contrary to what some people are saying in the legislature when they go out and say, hey, the commission has been running for a long time, that actually is not true. The commission has not been running properly. When we went to the good senator's office, we went there and we kind of got together this task force, the Guam Veterans Task Force. We got together because the talk about not being able to have a commission meeting was something that was important. Regardless of whether we felt there was no teeth, right? We needed to keep that running as well as provide for how do we get them to run. We even offered, let us pay for the ad. So, when people start talking about, hey, we had to, we've been running the commission, no, it has not. Stop telling the people, things that are not true. There was a time when the commission was not running, and they were not running because they couldn't put an ad together. We went and started talking about, let's find a way to get these ads going. And by putting those ads together, they were finding out how to get those ads on the paper. We found out that we couldn't do it. But a lot of misinformation still going around. So when they talk about, is somebody doing something? We are. The Guam Veterans Task Force got together to put the commission where it's at today. And I want to also say, Tom Atta was a big help in this, to include the rest of the folks that are in there. There are fine folks that are on this island that are contributing behind the scenes. All the while, some folks are out there touting their being the ones that are putting these things together, and that's not necessarily true. We have folks to the tune of General Benny Polino that has been on that task force. Tom Atta, Eddie Regis, Bob Kelly, Rob Jackson, Charlie Hermosa, a bunch of veterans. And they're coming together because they feel that, hey, there's a need for us to do this. And Johnny Atula, I have to say his name because if I don't, he's going to be upset. So Uncle Johnny was also there. And I don't know if there's something you wanted to add to that before we keep going, because I'll keep going on this. And so maybe I will since you're going to allow me to go. So that all leads up to where we're at today. We've been constantly looking at the issues that needed to be taken care of, supporting the commission. Now, why that's important is Tom Atta, when he met with us, we talked about the commission not having teeth. What that meant was the law did not allow for the commission to tell the director what the organizations want the director to do. So we got together, and Tom Atta, who's very knowledgeable about this, started putting these things together, amendments to change the things that are in the existing bill. And this was done during Dwayne St. Nicholas's time. When we left there, we already had that groundwork, framework put together. What should we change? What are things that, could be adjusted to meet the current times? So that work was already done. It was already done. So when we first had the good Senator Salas Montanani come to the task force meeting, I was sitting there when we tried to advise her that, hey, there's, amendments that probably are put together. And this is something that, based on experience, the good Senator, Tom Atta, said, we have to piecemeal this. The way the system works at the legislature is you cannot just send them everything, because it's almost like a shock when you send them, hey, you need to do all these things. What about this and that and this and the other? How do we get all these things lined up? How do we get this through, right? And if you're sending them something very comprehensive, it's going to be difficult for them to really arrive at, hey, how do we get this done? It's almost like it's information overload and the system can't handle it. So that was kind of the advice that he gave at the time. And I know the senator came out with something really comprehensive herself, right? And we tried to push that out. So all of these, the folks in the commission and the folks that were put there are trying to say, oh, we don't like this, we like this. And all of a sudden they said, well, we're going to create a working group. Problem with that working group is, how do you get a working group together in a commission, in a public meeting, without putting that on the agenda, without talking about, hey, we need a working group to take care of these things.
Oh, they don't care about the agenda. They'll just talk about what they want. But then when someone else wants to say something, they give them 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, and to your point, right, there's the list of organizations that are on the upcoming event, right? And there's quite a few organizations that are on there. And what's interesting is, this is not to say that these organizations are not good organizations, right? But they're placed on a listing, on a government listing for a government event. And some of these organizations are not in operation anymore.
Not according to the revenue tax listing of nonprofit organizations that are active, right?
Which is quite interesting, because how do we arrive at a list and say, hey, here's a list of organizations? There's an organization on there called HMI. They're on that organization. Why are they on that listing? Are they truly an organization? Because if they are, they're not on the commission. And
well, they don't want us to join the commission. They're scared of what we are and what we do. So.
Well, I'm not sure that that's necessarily where we want this conversation to go.
Why not?
However, what we want to talk about are all the little things that are adding up to where we need to be with what we're doing. And this is where coming together is very important. And we need a special person to do this. I'm not saying that, the folks that are there are or aren't the right people to be there. But if you start looking at, not so much what people are saying, but what they're doing, then you're going to really take a look at, are these people truly bringing our veterans and our veterans organizations together? And if the answer is no, then maybe we need to work on that. How do we get somebody there that's able to bring everyone together? And I'm sorry, you can't pick and choose, right? You don't get to do that when you're sitting here saying, hey, all of our organizations and all of our veterans need help. If you look at the report, that report tells us we got nowhere else to go but up. So we got so many issues and challenges through the OPA report. what is it that we really need to do with that?
Change. Make change.
And when you talk about that, right? So let's take a look at what you just said. Make some changes, right?
Yep.
How and to who, and do we need to change people out, or what is it that we need to do?
I think so.
Now there's laws, right? There's laws that talk about if you're sitting in a position, you're holding this position, right? If you're not doing your job, there could be sanctions for you if you don't do that job.
Resign.
Some folks, when they feel that they're doing the best that they can, feel that meets the threshold. Now, the people that will determine whether you meet the threshold or not are potentially going to be your veterans.
They're not doing a good job, and one veteran not assisted is one too many. Because their job is very important. They're changing lives. They're supposed to know their job. They're not supposed to send a veteran away when the veteran asks for help. They're also supposed to know the law and keep up with the law in 2025, and they are not.
And then recently, just at the very last commission meeting, there was mention of the VFW having 2 VSOs. That information is old. There are no VSOs at the VFW. And more importantly, right, what is the VFW saying about that? Right? It's because if you are a VSO, right, your job is to be informing all the veterans of all the issues and policies and procedures and things that are going on. If you want to be a VSO, you have to know what you're doing. You have to keep up. You have to be down there finding out what the veterans want and need. You cannot be just, you pick somebody and you pick something. No, these folks need to know what they're doing. If you have not looked at the way claims are done, if you have never filed your claim, if you've never seen the process or taken the time to follow a veteran through their process, we got issues with how you are truly going to say you're a VSO when they report who they're helping. I know that on the commission meeting, they said, we want these VSOs to help our people, right? Our veterans on the island. I know that the VFW VSOs are helping people outside of Guam, and they are counting that they are helping these people in the Guam meeting. Now, again, this is not a problem when it comes to saying, hey, are you doing VSO work? But the challenge comes when you're a VSO and you're here on Guam and you need help. The OPA report tells you veterans here need help. Why is it that it's so important for you to go outside of Guam to help people? Because it's your region? Because they require help? Well, what about the people here? They require help. So there's issues about how these things work that, maybe we need to try to learn a little bit more, right? Try to find out more about what these things are really talking about. So anyway.
Can we move to registry? So insufficient staffing to process VA claims, that's important because of course we don't know the true number of how many veterans we have here, but processing a veteran claim, that's a lot more than I can only see 2 veterans once a day, and then the appointments are months out, because when a veteran files their claim, they get letters that say you have 2 weeks to respond, you have 7 days to respond, you have 30 days to respond. And that's important, especially if maybe a veteran might miss their exam. When they miss their exam, they don't know what to do or where to go, especially those that are not informed of the process. So that's insufficient staffing. I'm not sure how many VSOs are down there now. I think only 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 down there. I'm not sure.
Well, but they didn't bring that up at the commission meeting either.
No, because they only want to talk about what they're going to do in 2026, not what they're going to do now.
Well, and again, right, that's why that information is important. If you are part of the commission, your job is to get the information together and disseminate it. If you don't want to disseminate the information, send it to the director and tell him to disseminate it. But in both of these areas, we have a difficult time accessing information. Information doesn't flow downward. Information staying up here in a place where the people that are up here are sharing that with themselves, and
that's good enough for them
in their mind's eye.
Yeah, that's what they think. It's good enough. So insufficient staffing to maintain the Guam Veterans Registry. So this OPA report was from 2018 to 2025. So from 28, so their registry went from 2017 to today. They've only registered 2,197 veterans.
And so let's talk about the registry a little bit. So in the existing law, the Speaker of the legislature, last legislature, it was Therese Terlahi. This current legislature, it's Frank Bloss Jr. So when we talk about that, there should be reports going to them. Now, you know, I would ask that the speaker tell us if that report has been submitted. And if it has not, it would be a good idea for him to just mention that. You know, hey, I did not get a report. You see what I mean? We're good at telling people your job is to do this, you got to do that. But then when the follow-up of, hey, where's this report? And that's a very crucial report, and it's important because that report tells us the number of veterans here that need services, that are required to get services, and potentially what kind of services we're going to be receiving from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. So that number is important. On top of that, through the task force and HMI, we got the governor to proclaim this year as Year of the Veteran Count and Veteran Registry. And that's in line with something that needs to be going on. This is an easy way for the commission to jump on board and get a count from all these people.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
You don't need somebody to come on air and tell you, hey, go do this, right? You should already know that you should be doing this. The last time they testified at the legislature, right? That was right before this OPA report came out. I'm interested to learn that when those commission members went down there talking about the bill and how they supported the bill, I want to know what type of research they were doing, because they were doing this research as a working group through a government entity, right? And when they did that working group, why weren't they able to get things out of the OPA report? How do you go down in front of the legislature supporting something when you don't even have background? You don't even know what's going on. You didn't even go check the OPA report. I want to know who they interviewed as veterans. I've not seen a report. They've not done a survey of the veterans on the ground to find out what these veterans want.
Which goes back to them sharing information with themselves is good enough. It's not. Because you're not asking veterans, what do you need? What do you want? What's going on? What's going on with your health care, with your benefits? And that's important, because how are you going to make change when you don't even know?
And to add to that, right, so I don't think we're going to get all of this out in one sitting. And for the last 2-3 airings on the podcast and on the radio show. We've been trying to really get this all out, and I don't think we're going to be hitting that all in one sitting. Now, talking about the OPA report, talking about the bills that need to get passed and things that need to happen, right? There's room for all kinds of work to get done. So that's something that we maybe need to start paying attention to and really getting out there and doing some work, right? And however that might be, you know, we do it like we do it here on our island, right? We what we do is we go to, for example, in the village, if somebody's having a party, even more than that, right? During my time when they're having a party, we all get together as teenagers and we say, hey, let's go see who's having a party, and we go help. We might not be invited to the party. After we help, they call us to the party, right? Now, in the old days, when somebody was building a home, the village would get together and go participate in helping them to build their home. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably something that we need to start working on again, right? Is, you know, really coming together and really get boots on the ground. You know, stop sitting on a chair trying to tell people, hey, this is what to do. Get down on the ground, meet the veterans, talk to them. You'd be surprised at what they're going to tell you. And you know, the things that we're doing, right? Like, I think we have an event coming up that you want to talk about.
Right. So the nonprofit organization, which we're a part of, HMI, Ihanana Imagahit Zani Anina, this weekend we're having our 4th annual 5K.
Yes.
And so this thing is heavy. I don't know if I can carry this. I'm just going to push it over. This is the Perpetual Cup. So this is for all the military branches, Guard and Reserve, to compete for.
Yes.
And this is, so the ones that hold it today is the 1st Battalion, 294th Infantry Regiment, Guam Army National Guard.
Chamorro.
Chamorro?
Yes.
So they got this. They won it last year. So I said, hey, are you guys going to defend it? He goes, yeah. So when I asked to you know, get this, to take it around, he goes, you can borrow it. So they've already registered their team. So
yes.
So Guard, Reserve, Army, Air, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and then the Marine Corps come out and compete for this.
They're not going to. They can't.
They will.
No, they won't. They can't be. They can't be the Army Guard. These folks that are what organizations are you saying? Air Guard? Who else? Coast Guard? Are those real branches? Because if they are, we should see them at this 5K. And by the time this airs, we would have already had the winner of this. But we won't get to announce it until the next podcast.
And this is EFIT wood. This thing is so heavy.
So it shows that you have to be strong to win, right?
Yes, yes. And this is on the back we have the
Code of Conduct for the United States Armed Forces. Right. Wait a minute. So that's for the United States Armed Forces. Does that include Navy, Army?